I spent $12,045 on Whiteout Survival, and today is day 85. We just had Sun Castle battle for state versus state this morning. I ended up being Supreme President. That was kind of fun. The battle was fun. It's actually very long and drawn out battle. I'm tired. I am very tired. So I'm going to make this a quick video because I've been spending way too much for state versus state prep. And not just that, but I've been saving up for a long time. So I did a whole bunch of power moves recently during the state versus state prep phase. But today, all I'm going to do is focus on some very basics. I gave you an update on the state versus state. I'm going to go look. I did do some spending in Frosty Fortune because I needed something. I needed widgets. So I did do some spending there, but I'm going to just build this back up again by just buying this up to the $5 mark. And then I will just play the free refreshes, basically. You know what? I don't really need anything right now, so I'm going to just play the red. I'm going to just look for red chests. Nice. And then I'll just do the same tomorrow. Because I don't really need it as badly right now, so that's all I'm going to do for that right now. And I'm just going to save up the Gems of Enigma, and then I'll spend this before the event is done. But I ended up using it for widgets for state versus state because I did feel like my Philly needed a little bit more, a little bit more work. The widget needed a little bit more work. So the next thing we're going to do is come into the standard daily deals. I'm just going to grab, I don't need to focus on the rest of this. I am going to grab the daily deal like I have been doing. And then I'm going to, just grab my weekly card stuff. All right. And then I'm going to come into events. I got a new personal best for bear damage, which is in part because of all the work I've been doing on the account. We're also going to look at the deals section. So already did a Vault of Enigma, so this is all set. I don't need to do anything with Hall of Heroes really, but I will take the free stuff. And I think that Mark of Valor will probably be expiring soon. I don't know when we're going to get Gen 3, but, it doesn't make much sense to save it up, so I'm just going to burn it on this. It doesn't really matter. I just don't want to have it unused. I will do the Lantern of Blessing later. I'll just grind that out, so I don't want to focus on this part too much. And then I want to show this new one. So the Wishful Emporium. I have this configured for fire crystals because all the stuff in here is actually, I don't know about all of it, but it is decent value. Like they got the, charm designs in here as well. And loyalty tags. But, I think for me, what I'm blocked on right now mostly is fire crystals. And if you get the fire crystals in this deal, they end up being about 10.5 per dollar if you max it out like this. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that's a good value. Now the question becomes, does it scale up? And it probably does, right? That's double the amount, double the amount. So I'm gonna actually do this again. Because, essentially I'm blocked by fire crystals. And I'm going to do it one more time, only at the $20 mark. And that's it, because that's the, at this point, the efficiency goes way down. It is very tempting, though, because that is, I don't know if I'm ever going to get the price of fire crystals, at this ratio again. It's very rare to get them at $10 per dollar. And they do come through the game by other means, though. So, but as you can see, the value starts going down. The VIP value starts going down as far as the total package goes. So, so I'm going to skip this, and I've already been spending way too much on other things anyways. So that's all the spending I'm doing for tonight. Let's grab the VIP and see where VIP sits. All right, slow and steady. We're getting there. As you can hear, I lost my voice a little bit. I think it's just because I woke up too early and I made a bad situation worse with my cold. But then the other things, let's see. I did get third in Arena of Glory today, which, I actually missed it entirely talking strategies the other day. So The fact that I was able to come in third today when I missed it entirely, I basically missed an entire day, is not too bad. That's where things sit tonight. But let's do a quick little account review of where things landed after SVS Prep Week. I've got all my gear to Mythic now. It's all gold. I've got, you know, the widget work. I'm sorry, the charms work is looking good. We've got level 6 on the infantry and level 5 on the marksman, and I let the lancer lag a little bit. And then if we look at the gear,
you do notice
we've got the infantry gear up to plus 20, which is, you know, where it's going to sit. I've got the only reason the goggles and boots are at plus 100 is because I needed something to do while I was waiting to spend on SVS prep, and you know, you can bring the gear up without needing to worry about, you know, SVS prep points. And so, you know, and I'll do the same for Alonso, well, for the marksman and lancer gear as well. And then if you look at the widgets, I got, you know, Alonso's widget up to plus 8, which is, you know, that'll be good for Bear for a while anyways. And then Molly's up to plus 8 as well. And Philly up to plus 6, which, you know, I kind of dumped on Philly a lot, but for defensive garrison, like we had to do for defending the castle, she was actually very effective for that lineup. So not an offense, but a good, you know, defensive lancer. So, and I got Flint's up to plus 2, and I got Zinman up to plus 2, just so that they're a secondary option when I send a whole bunch of marches out in Foundry or something like that. And let's see, that's where things stand there. And check this out. This is what power is looking like right now. You know, this is looking pretty good. You look at, you know, look at my, you know, troops attack rates and, you know, infantry defense, marksman lethality. This is all, you know, looking pretty good. Now let's look at one more thing. Let's look at the pets. I did a whole bunch of work on the pets. So let's look at the stats. Here's the overall stats I have just from pets alone. So this is what some people are saying, and I understand it now. The money or the gems I spent, I guess, on pets gave me these stats. If I went to VIP 12, all I'd get is the unlocking of VIP 12, which doesn't do much for you unless you're spending a lot of money. And it would give me a lethality bump of plus 16. Well, I got more than a lethality bump of plus 16 across all categories, right? I didn't get a troops lethality, but I got an infantry lethality, lancer lethality, marksman lethality. And in addition to that, I got a whole bunch of other stats as well. So I think that was actually the best move to make there. And so that's where things are sitting with pets after all that refinement. So hopefully I'm going to be able to come back to like grounding myself. The SVS prep is done now. I'm going to kind of hunker down. I think I understand why some veteran players just play between SVS to SVS now, because like I need to save everything from one SVS to the next. Like I'm not doing any upgrades. I'll do my spending based on what's efficient, but I'm not using it at all until the next state versus state comes up, because that is actually hard to win. So I'm going to save everything I can so that I'm only doing upgrades during the state versus state prep phase. And that's it. I'm going to buy what I can to be efficient at what I'm buying, but I'm going to save it to use for the state versus state. And then hopefully I won't have to like spend so much on the state versus state as well. So tell me what you think about the spending plan from here. Like I've been spending too much too fast lately again, but now I need some strategies to kind of tune that down. I know the game's always going to give me opportunities to spend, and there's always going to be events that they make it enticing to spend, but I'm curious if any of you have strategies, especially whales out there, because free to play and medium spenders, it's a different kind of category. But I'm curious for the whales out there, the other whales out there, if you have advice on how I can kind of start to get back on a budget now. Now remember, if you like following my journey and you want to see where this goes, you got to give me a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that way whenever I post new content or go live, you'll know about it right away. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, I'll see you later.